Well, I really hope this short video really wake you up. It's not easy. You have been here for the last 3 days. Well, there is a saying that be careful what you wish for. So when we planned this event, we thought that it would get people here from various sectors, various countries, or various disciplines, engaged and discussing. But I have to confess that we didn't anticipate the momentum, the strong momentum we created during this conference. The high level of engagement and the excitement at this conference, and the quality of the discussion have been just tremendous. This happened not only in the official sessions, but also in the side sessions, side events, and the knowledge fairs. IPRI have had 2020 conferences for 5 times, so this is the 5th time. So it's the first time that we innovated 2 things. So one is the side events. So we had 12 side events. I went, many of them, and the debate, the discussion there were just very exciting. The knowledge fairs you have observed during your lunch, coffee break, so it's just so much dynamic over there. Well, let me now add a few thoughts to this discussion. Well, colleagues, so this is a timely moment for all of us to get together. So a bigger role for agriculture at the global level, at the global agenda. Then higher food prices, so have really turned the world's attention to food policy. Then policymakers, the development community are looking for solutions. So as the Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh, rightly said that everybody has a right to food. And we need to do much more to meet the human right. So access to food is a basic human right. Human right to healthy, nutritious, and sustainable produced food. I wanted to emphasize sustainably produced food. So one of the issues some participant has mentioned that we have not discussed here much. So after 3 days of deliberation, so what we have to offer? So to help to launch this conference, we at IPRI have prepared a forward statement with inputs from many members of our 2020 conference advisory committee. So this statement proposed some initial ideas about how we can get started. And it is based on 4 building blocks. I believe this statement was in your conference bag. So number 1 is to fill the knowledge gaps. So we needed to invest much more in learning about the links and the best ways to exploit them. Second, to do no harm. The links between agriculture and health and nutrition can be both beneficial and detrimental. So let's minimize the cases in which the 3 sectors work at cross purposes. Third, seek out to scale up innovative solutions. So far, examples of interventions that combine 2 or 3 of these sectors are very, very rare. But they do exist, and we should build on them. So finally, create an environment in which cooperation can thrive. So partnerships, communication, and mutual accountability can create incentives for working together. For this way forward statement is a living document, subject to further debate and change. So we invite you to go to the IPRI website to contribute to your own inputs. So beyond the way forward statement, as I have listened to the 3 days of presentations and discussion, I have noted 4 additional recurring themes. So it looks like 4 is a magic number in this conference. So first, I have heard that we needed to do more to spread the word, and the right word, thinking versus thinking, what needs to be thought through. So those of us here at the conference are the converted. So we have to do more to communicate the importance of the links between agriculture, nutrition, and health to others. We all suffer from information overflow. I heard from a couple of them, just too much information, overflow of information. To get our points heard, so we needed to combine hard evidence with good storytelling. So how can you tell a good story? Yeah, we know the linkages are very complex, almost too complex, but we do need to develop a short story. So by talking to both policymakers and the various stakeholders about the potential for positive change, we will help build both the supply of and the demand for sound policies in these areas. The second, we needed to improve the evidence base on these issues and impact evaluation, plus data, I heard from the last session. So evidence, impact evaluation, supported by good data. And the impact evaluation have to be results-oriented. So instead of looking 3 different sectors, let's look at the results. Let's look at the solutions to the challenges. So what kind of agricultural growth does most for people's nutrition and health? So how can we measure nutritional impact of agricultural interventions? And how can we best organize policies and interventions that cross sectors? We heard lots of emphasis on evidence, whether it's faith-based evidence or evidence-based faith. Evidence from the left to the right, from the top to the bottom. So now the question is, without comprehensive evidence to look at the complex system, can we start? Can we move? Can we begin to move? I think we should. We cannot wait for this evidence. We already have some information about what works, and concrete actions can also serve as tools for learning. If we don't start, how can we learn from it? So learning by doing is very important. Don't wait. Third, we needed to improve the policy-making process. To do that, we need data, information, and we needed to strengthen the capacity of the policymakers to understand various issues. We also need to understand the policy-making process and the whole political process. And policymakers have the chance to capture an enormous opportunity to improve people's lives. So let's show them the way forward and support them in doing it. Number fourth, let's move this marketplace of ideas into education. So we need to make sure that students in agriculture, health, and nutrition don't graduate without knowing something of other 2 sectors. Again, we heard many times about this. Then by the time they enter the professional world, so these young people will have developed a habit of thinking intersectionally. So this means changing how educational programs are organized. those of you in the audience who are in education can lead. And we at IPRI can provide materials that will support this effort. So these are 4 key themes that have emerged at this conference. It's my own reflection. And we at IPRI will follow up on them. We will do all we can to support better communication. Once again, I emphasize communication. Improve the quality of the debate through research and information. And facilitate policy dialogue. So communication, quality of debate through research and information, and facilitate policy dialogue. Well, this morning, I heard from Diane Vincent that this event is not only a learning forum, but also a leadership seminar that we are all agents for change. We have here more than 1,000 leaders. You are all leaders who can go out and promote these ideas in the rest of the world. Changing the status quo will not be easy. And we cannot expect others to do all the changing. I wanted to use a Chinese proverb here that if you seek to change others, first change yourself. So let's start from ourselves. So as we wrap up this event, I would like to thank many of the people here that made this conference possible. So we are extremely grateful for the support and the participation of our co-sponsors. I'm not going to read every one of them. It's listed both sides. We greatly appreciate the work of the Conference Advisory Committee, which gave us invaluable guidance in the design of this program, this conference. So we have had a couple of teleconference calls to receive their guidance. Here, I wanted to thank our conference team, led by Raju Padiyong. Raju, why don't you stand up? Now, about a year ago, Raju and I had this idea to launch this conference. So after that, Raju took this idea and ran with it. So you deserve all the credit. I deserve all the blame. Right? Many others contributed to this conference. Professor Thorat really facilitated lots of logistical support. So thank you so much. And Asha Gulati, the director of our office here, also provided lots of local support here. And I also acknowledge his support. Well, we have started to talk the talk. Now let's walk the walk. The challenge for all of us is to translate this talk into action that helps poor people achieve prosperous, healthy, and well-nourished lives. It has been said that there is nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. You have convinced us that this is an ideal idea whose time has come. So once again, I thank you all for your active participation, great engagement, and a very stimulating dialogue. So I wish you all a safe journey back home. I declare the conference adjourned.